What's up, everybody? This is your man, DJ Square Knot, and you're tuned into my podcast, Square Knot Live, where we talk about music, real issues, meet great people, and get into fun and engaging topics. With that being said, let's get into it. What's up? What's up? What's up? Look who we have here today. So, let me start it out like this. This is somebody who I have been like really just looking to like lock down for a second because she is one of the hardest working women that I know. And she gets it going. She really gets it going. You know, you see it all over Facebook. Every time you look around, she's there. She's on this corner. She's on this corner. She's over here. She's in the middle of the block. She's talking about relationships. She's talking about business. She's talking about money. She's talking about everything. Who am I talking about? The illustrious T Quest. What's up, girl? How you doing?
Hi. You know, you made me sound like.
What's that?
You know how they have like the Instagram models that are popular for being on Instagram? You made me feel like one of the Facebook models, like popular to be on Facebook. They like, we'll be seeing you all over the book. I'm like, I'm on other social platforms too.
Yeah.
And I feel like I connect more with the people on Facebook than the other platforms. That's what I'm on it the most, you know?
Yeah, true that. I totally understand that. You know, when you look at your Facebook and you have 4,000 or whatever number of members, and you have the opportunity to connect with at least a great percentage of them, maybe 10% of them alone. Hey, that's a lot of people to talk to. That's a lot of people to kind of learn about. And through them, just like I plan to do today, I'm going to learn more about you that will probably help me learn more about myself.
Oh, that's interesting.
You know what I'm saying?
Bring it on.
So, I know a lot of people here, like I've said, you are the illustrious T Quest. There's a lot that people should know about you. They should understand about you. But they won't know that if I don't go down to the foundation. And that is who T Quest is. Who are you? Tell us.
Okay, am I supposed to just spill out a book here? I'm just T Quest. Miss Gotta Love Me. More than a music artist. The Quest Respect is real. Those are all my hashtags. I had to do that quick plug. You know, I am someone who just loves the entertainment industry. And that's why I've always tapped into many parts of it as I can, because it's my happiness, it's my therapy, it's just who I am. Whether I'm on stage as an entertainer, meaning a music artist, on stage as a party host, a regular host, a comedian, a poet, you know, you never know. You may catch me on the ones and twos, you know, or ripping the runaway, doing fashion, cosmetics. Like, you just don't know. Like, every part of the entertainment industry, as a blogger or journalist, radio personality, it's my world, it's my being, it's who I am, Square Knot.
Wow. Tons and tons of babies there. Tons and tons of them. All those hats. Bing, 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 bing. You know what that is? That's all them hats sitting there. Now, you mentioned a lot of different things there.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just one person.
I am.
How do you manage to juggle that stuff? You know, because I when I was like, hey, T Quest, yo, check it out, yo, Quest, you got some time to like, I got maybe 5 minutes. And I'm like, how do you do this constantly? So how do you juggle your time without losing it? Because someone who has all the things going on that you have going on, at some point it just seems like you would just be pulling out your hair, you know what I mean? Instead of making it look nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about time management.
Time management.
Time management is so important and so critical. At the same time, we're all human, which means we're not perfect. Life is not perfect. We're not always going to get it right. So every day I wake up and I have like a list of things I desire to accomplish for the day. Sometimes I'll put together small goals that eventually be a big goal completed. So I'm not stressing myself like, oh my gosh, I didn't get this done. I didn't get this done. It's all about prioritizing, you know. So one day I can just focus on strictly my clothing line and just doing designs and what I want to do to revamp. And the next day I could be working on writing some music, or one day about my blogging. But in between, people be contacting me. I tell her I feel like a doctor on call, because I never know when someone's gonna call me about. You know, one time they call me like, "Hey, I'm going through something. I gotta turn to a therapist, T-Quest," you know, or they be like, "Yo, because I'm a voiceover specialist, I need some drops for this. I need this promo commercial for that." I'm like, "Send me the script. I got you." Blah 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 blah. So you just never know, you know, and that's why I try to wake up early to start doing the main things, because it's the miscellaneous things that throws people off. That's what
Mhm.
it is. And now I totally understand why, when it comes to jobs, where they say, don't be on your phone.
Yeah,
Focus on the job, because being on your phone is a major distraction.
most definitely.
Major. You start scrolling on social media, you start talking to people, and the whole time you should have got something done 3 hours ago and you didn't even start.
No doubt.
Hmm.
You think about it like this. At least in this day and age, I would say at least I'd say I'll be conservative about it, and I'll say 80%
Hmm.
of everyone who wakes up, they put their feet on the floor, or maybe even before they even do that, they're grabbing their phones and looking at their phones. Now, are you one of those individuals? And evidently, you had that little chuckle there. So maybe I've tapped into something to where you grabbing your phone before you even put your feet on the floor. So
I
if if
definitely be
if
having
that's the
my.
case, what I would really like to do, and I know that everyone here, you got a lot of shout outs. You got Ray Dell, you got Silent Professor, DJ Baby D. They're all saying hello.
Hi.
Um, so what I would like to do, I know that you mentioned all these different things, but just give me the average, just an average day from what time do you wake up?
You mean when I wake up or time I actually get out of bed?
Okay. What from the time that you wake up, because right now we already know that as soon as you're awake, you probably reach over and grab your phone before you actually get up.
You know
So
the main reason why I grab my phone first,
why?
and it's probably not going to be an answer that people's going to assume, but the reason is because for the fact that I'm an go-to person,
Hmm.
and I don't know what may happen in the moment that I'm asleep. Someone could be hurt, someone could be in a hospital. I don't know. So before I start my day, I need to know that everyone's okay. So the first thing I check is missed calls and text messages, not the other social media, just to make sure that nothing happened while I was asleep. Because what I had to do is I had to turn my phones off while I'm sleeping so I can get proper rest. Because people have so much access to me 24/7. And
Hmm.
I started to owe it to myself. Like, no, when I know I'm about to go to sleep, I put my phone on mute because I owe that to myself. But what I did
Indeed.
say is to compromise is when I wake up, I'm just going to check my text messages and my phone to make sure there's nothing that has happened during my slumber. Not,
Indeed.
yeah.
That's and you know what? That's really good that at least you do that part. And there's a difference between, you know, just making sure everyone is okay, especially if you're thinking about family and so on and so forth, as opposed to hopping right into the social media.
Absolutely.
So I salute you for that,
Thank you.
because that's making sure that is the heart of T Quest that's doing that, because you know you're looking to make sure that the loved ones, your loved ones, are okay and your friends are okay. Anyone that has potentially reached out to you, you want to be able to prep yourself for what you may have to do the next course of action pertaining to that, whatever they sent you.
Absolutely.
So totally understand that. And that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And digging into your Kool Aid a little bit more, though, give me an average day of what T Quest is. Not Tara Little, but T Quest. And then we're going to back up and see if Tara Little fits in there.
Oh, yeah, I knew it was a setup. Anyways, Well, at the end of the day, after the whole morning thing, I do check both my phones on my social media because, like I said, people have access to me 24/7, which means when I wake up, it's so many notifications I have to check. Whether it's my 15 Facebook pages, that's including the fan pages, my 5 Instagrams, my 3 Twitter, my 7 emails, like it's all these pages. And then, when I'm a part of different groups and stuff, we have minor groups and chats within those as well. So it's a lot I have to keep up with. And you know what? The reason why I try to keep up with all of it because I'm the one who decided I want to be a part of all of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I still have to make sure that I handle my business as much as I can realistically. So after I check all of that, now I'm like, okay, let me see who hit me up, who may need some of my services, whether someone want to book an interview, like a radio personality, or be on my show, or need like jobs or anything for vocal work. I'll check all that. And then, I do a lot of my promo for like my radio stations that I'm on. I feel that I have to play my part. So not only do I send in my shows, but I make sure I do my own personal flyers. I do my sweepers. I make sure I promote it right before the show is going to be played on that station out of respect. Because at the end of the day, whether they do it or not, I want to make sure the people know that I'm out here and
Right.
I'm on this station and my show is about to come on. So you need to know. But but the way I keep up with all of it, I use one of my assistants, which is Google. And she reminds me 10 minutes before every show that the T-Quest show is going to be played on this station, which means I go straight to my social media, Instagram, because that's like the portal realm that goes off to Twitter and Facebook. And I'll be like, tune into the T-Quest show. This is that and third on so-and-so radio, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because my earliest show on the weekdays is Monday at 8 a.m., which means I have to make sure I'm alert at 7:50 a.m. to make sure I put out that promo for that.
Hmm.
So I do that, and then I do regular flyers, and then I do consultations with a lot of people, and I do a few PR for a few companies. So we have daily calls to make sure everything is good, make sure everything's straight, make sure everything is on tag, this, that, and third. Miscellaneous things may come into play. I gotta make sure my blogs is ready to go for like the magazines and stuff I work for.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to things like that, I really try to have it all done in the beginning of the week. Meaning on Sundays is my day where I put out all my radio shows depending on what platform I'm on. And I tell them that the moment they try to pick me up, I'm like, look, I send my shows out every Sunday. Is that going to be okay with you? Some people want it 24 hours ahead of time. I'm like, that's not going to work for me. Why? I'm on way too many platforms. And that just takes up more time for me within the week when I need that time to handle something else. So I do all that stuff on Sundays. All my blogs for every magazine I work for that I put out every week, I queue it all up and schedule it on my email to be sent out on the days that they need it or the days that I put up on my app. It's all about time management and prioritizing. So all the stuff that I do, it's easier for me. Does that make sense?
Yeah, most definitely.
And then, of course, I do conference calls with music artists and entrepreneurs. And of course, I have to record my shows and everything. And, of course, music and writing outside of magazine stuff. So it's interesting where the day may take me.
So as you move further into the night,
Mhm.
what time would you say your day ends?
Midnight.
Midnight. So you do end at midnight.
Hmm.
Well, that's good. That's good
Hmm.
because we have had some talks before
Yes, we have.
about this next person that we're going to talk about.
Are we talking about people? We're having guests on the show?
No, we're talking
Oh,
about you, but in the form of Tara, Tara Little, and this whole thing with time management.
my government out there. Thanks.
So, so um, tell me about Tara, and tell me about how it is for her with T Quest having so many things to do, and is there ever a conflict between the two?
Well, Tara is very aware that T Quest is the breadwinner in the relationship. So she knows that she takes up a lot of time. And she allows her to handle her business. You know what I'm saying? And she respects it. Sometimes she be looking for a little bit of her time, focus on her, but they're getting through the relationship. But every day they grow stronger and stronger.
Keep going.
No, but on all jokes aside, right? Right now it's the last quarter of the year. This is the time I really do a major self reflection and self evaluation, always around my birthday, because in my mind, my birthday is my new year.
Your
So
birthday is
October 20th.
October 20th. Remember that date.
Yes.
Everyone that's
Hmm.
listening, remember that date and call it T Tara T Quest Little Day. So
Hey, I
that
like
so that
that.
so that both of those ladies
You're
get
so
the
extra.
opportunity to celebrate that day.
He's so dramatic. Anyway, and I take that time to do like a self reflection thing. You know what I mean? And so October is always one of the happiest months, yet the most emotional for me.
Mm,
Because I'm just like, okay, what did I do this year or wanted to do or want to accomplish? And did I actually complete it? If not, nowadays, I don't beat myself up for it. I'm like, well, things in life happens. So what can I do to change it so I can actually execute it properly the next go round? One thing I notice a lot of people do is they're always beating themselves up for not
mhm.
doing something. And my new thing now is I tell people, it's okay. It's okay if you didn't complete. It's okay if you're upset. It's okay if you're mad. Like you're human. You're allowed these other emotions, and then I just see what I can do. But yes, I definitely make sure nowadays that I do shut down the whole GLM incorporation type of thing so Tara can get the proper rest that she needs, to make sure she's okay. And then I even disappeared and got out this weekend for the first time since the pandemic hit.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, right? It's really awkward.
What was that like?
Awkward. The whole wait, let me go back. Let me get a mask. Like it was so weird to me. It was, and it made me physically sick wearing it. And I'm like, I don't know how people can do this every day, like for long periods of time. I was like, no. And then I had one that was super kind of cute, but like the material of it wasn't working
Functional.
with me. I just felt like I was like breathing in like a shirt, right? Then I was like, let me use my medical ones, and those are a little better. But I'm just like, how do people do this every day, all day? It's seemed too much. So shout out to the ones who have to. And I'm just like, at the end of the day, this is the new norm. But it reminded me, like, remember before the pandemic, you was an entertainer that was
Mhm,
out there almost every day rocking the stage and rocking the mic and stuff,
mhm.
outside in the world. Don't forget about that because once it's open back up 100%, if it ever gets to 100%, you have to be ready. And it was an eye opener to me because right now I'm not ready because I got so comfortable being in the house and just doing other things. I'm just like, no, you got to turn back into the ultimate entertainer that you was before the pandemic hit. And at the same time, since you are getting older and have so much time to do self reflection, you have to make sure that Tara is good too.
Mhm.
So I started doing little things to keep her happy because that's Bay, even though she's me, and definitely been balancing out my Libra scales for sure.
Cool beans.
Hmm.
So we're going to tap into some of the things that you do, and I think you are talented all over the place.
I
But you
appreciate
have
it.
exposed several talents that I've personally witnessed, and I enjoy. And
Oh, really?
there is definitely one talent that I think um, I don't I can almost say at least 60% of the DJs that I come in contact with, if not more, they all know T Quest. And
Right.
not only do they know T Quest, but they have a drop that they play, and automatically we could be somewhere and we know that it's T Quest. You know why?
Hey.
Because T Quest has that unique
Mhm.
voice when she's doing those drops. So before I get into that, I just would love for you to do a live drop right now. Um,
Okay.
a live drop of anything that you would love to do it on, just so that people can experience that.
All right. This is the one and only T Quest. And right now I'm rocking with DJ Square Nine.
Nice, nice, nice. So, and this is an example of what you get from T Quest, and she's very professional with her work.
Thank you.
And it definitely makes a difference when you have someone who loves what they do as opposed to it being work.
Mhm.
And you can definitely tell that through everything that you do. Even with you doing your your uh, um, your blogs that we are going to talk about, because I want to know. You said you sent out to several blogs, and what are those articles about? What are you writing about?
Okay, so it's called The Quest Chronicles. Life, love, music, and more from my perspective.
Hmm.
Because I've noticed I don't think like your average. And that's what people love about me. And that's what they respect about me. And when they hear my opinion on certain things, it makes them like, I never thought of it like that.
Hmm.
Actually, let me try that. So it's just me bringing people into my world and how I would view certain situations to make them think like maybe I should think of it like that, just to
Hmm.
help out, because all about helping one another. But yeah, I love the Quest Chronicles. And of course, certain topics gets more views than others, but sometimes you have to just let those rock, but then don't forget the whole reason why you do what you do.
Right.
Because in this industry, in this life, let's be honest, sex sells.
Yes.
And you can talk about that 24/7, you're gonna get massive views in that. But I'm like, yes, thank you for viewing that and reading that. But what about something else? Let's talk about life. Let's talk about mental issues. Let's
Hmm.
talk about self-love. Like let's talk about some other things. And there's certain people that hit me up like, what, I read your article and I thank you so much for that because I was really going through something and you made me feel like it's okay to this, that, and there. I'm like, those are the responses I'm looking for. That's what I like to hear. That's my motivation to keep going. Even if the sex chronicles get thousands of views and the one about mental health gets 5. If I was here to heal one person within that 5, I've done my job.
No doubt. No doubt. So as you go through, you got the T Quest Chronicles. Obviously, you just said Sex Chronicles. What other chronicles do you have?
He's so extra. Let me just shout out to the main 3 that I do work for. So the Quest Chronicles is for Straight Official Magazine as well as Apex Couture Magazine.
Hmm.
Now, the Quest Chronicles is the name of my chronicles,
Gotcha.
but each magazine will get a different topic for that day.
Gotcha.
That's just the main name. Just like when I write for Writer Magazine, since that's more of like a babe type magazine, he
Hmm.
gets the Sex Chronicles
Gotcha.
because his the whole thing is selling sex, at least 89.9% of it. So he gets that one, and that's strictly for the grown and extra sexy only.
Well, that's a beautiful thing. So now, as you're writing these blogs, obviously, the influence is coming from somewhere. Is that personal influence, or is that something that you see as you're maybe um, walking around somewhere and you are just picking up like someone that's watching flowers and they write about it or something like that?
Well, I do get inspiration from me being me or people I have conversations with or encounters with for sure. But if you're specifically talking about the sex chronicles, that's pretty much all from imagination. Like I remember the first time I wrote for Writer Magazine, they was telling me that they're actually getting picked up to be in the jails and stuff. I was like,
Hmm.
oh, that's awesome. So I used that to inspire me to write my first article for them, which pretty much about a woman and her bae or zaddy that's locked up, and they can't be around each other. So when he calls her at night, his last call for the day, they're just having like phone sex or something, and it's all written out in details in the article. And I'm like, something they may enjoy.
Cool
Hmm.
beans. Well, anything to help anyone, no matter what their situation is. Just the mere fact that you're able to contribute to something that makes someone's life a little bit easier. That is a beautiful, beautiful thing. And salute to you for that as well.
Thank you.
So now you mentioned also about, I don't know if you're in this arena right now, but about being a comedian. Tell me about that.
I don't want to. I don't want to tell you nothing about it. You know why I don't want to tell you about it?
Why is that?
Because it's kind of like the reason why I don't tell people about a lot of gifts that I have. People suck the life out of it. You know what I'm saying? No, you laughing, but it's true. Because you already know when you tell people that you are a comedian, in
Hmm.
their mind, you better be funny. Right? It's to the point I'm like, yo, like calm down. Like you're not here to enjoy me. You're just here to see if I'm going to mess up and just be bland. That's corny to me. So I tell people, yes, I've done stand up. Yes, people laughed at my set. Yes, I've done comedy podcasts. Yes, I've opened up for many comedy shows. Yes, I have all this on my entertainment resume as well as comedy parody music videos. Yes, but technically, I really don't call myself a comedian because I don't want the pressure. You know,
Yeah.
like when people book me to host their events, they just happen to be booking a host who just happens to be funny to the point they ask me, "Are you a comedian?" I'm just like, I'm just an entertainer. And if I entertained you, I did my job. You know
Well,
what I'm saying?
I
Yeah.
like that answer.
Thank you. It's true. You can't have nothing to yourself when it comes to your talents and your gifts. The people feel like everything has to be on display. Sometimes that's just for someone's therapy or their own personal happiness. Now you ask them about it, they may tell you, then just let that be that. Just like every tall black dude ain't supposed to be playing sports. Every beautiful face is not supposed to be a model. Like you gotta relax.
True that. True that. Hey, I totally, totally agree.
Craziness.
I
Mm,
totally agree,
but you
and
know.
I'm glad that you bring up a good point,
Uh-huh.
because so many. I can't tell you the number of times that back, and when I was a little bit younger, I had black hair instead of this gray white stuff that I have now.
First of all, that's
That
that's that's culture, that's season,
oh
that's
yeah, and I love
beautiful.
it. I'm good, all good for it. Believe
Oh,
me. But you had people that automatically go, "Hey, where did you play football at?" Why? Because I'm a big dude. I've never played football, or there's the
ever?
tall guy.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah, I've
seriously?
never played football because when I grew up I went to school in Brooklyn,
Mm,
and in Brooklyn, football teams were far and few and in between because of insurance issues. So a lot of schools didn't want to take on the insurance issues, because if players got hurt, that was big, big bucks.
right.
So they didn't want to have and deal with any of that. So, but yeah. And then also the other thing I want to make sure that I mention too is you have an app. Not too many people have an app.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us about this app. Tell us about what's going on in this app.
You know what's so funny about the app? Shout out to my app. I was very hesitant to get it at first because the people in charge, shout out to Black Lives BB apps. They come to all the DJ conferences and encourage everyone how it's important to have an app, especially as an entrepreneur, DJ, blogger, artist, etc. And I'm just like, well, I already have a website, so what I need an app for? But it's easy access to your phone. I'm like, they could just put my website on their homepage. What's the difference? But then once I finally, like, you know what, let me give up with the times and let me invest in one. I was like, you know what, I kind of dig this because you're right. A lot of people, correction, there's a lot of people who have apps, but a lot of people don't know a lot of people have apps. You know what I'm saying? So that makes me very special. I'm like, yeah, get down my app. You have your own app. I'm like, Yeah, it's the TQuest app. T-Quest in your Google Play Store and your App Store. And you can get all my awesomeness from the different. Yes, download the TQuest mobile app, and you can get my radio shows, access to my blogs easily. My music, some pictures, and all my social media stuff is out there, and my website and email. So it's a quicker one-stop shop to all my awesomeness, and then I always try to updated with some new things all the time. But I love my app. I love when people download it. I love it when they give me like awesome reviews. Hint, hint. I love when they give me 5 stars. Hint, hint. You know what I'm saying? I just love when they download it if they haven't already. Hint, hint. You know what I'm saying? I love it. 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 I love it so much. So, so much. And I hope that my people that download it turn on the notifications. Hint, hint, and just enjoy my amazement. And I tell them if there's anything else they need from me, just contact me and I'll see what I can do or to get out of my entertainment vault to entertain my fans and supporters.
So
Skills.
you win $1 million
Okay.
and you can only do one thing
Hmm.
with this $1 million as it relates to not personal stuff, but your entertainment stuff. Where would you go?
Where would I
What
go?
what
What would I
what
do?
area would you tap into? Would it be, your drops? Would it be the media side? Would it be, you know, what I'm saying? The blogging? Would it be the hip hop, which we're getting ready to get into next? So where would it be? Where would you focus more of that? Where would you focus that money at?
I will focus it on my number one love, which is music.
Music. And I'm glad you said that because that is the segue. See, I
I
asked you
kind of
questions.
figured I'm starting to get used to these traps, but
So that brings
Mhm.
us to T Quest, the artist. Tell us about your music. Tell us about your latest projects. Tell us where we can find these projects, and tell us about the videos if you have any, and the whole deal from there.
Well, as a young tenderoni, I always knew I wanted to be an entertainer and a pop star. Yes, I was quiet and talked to people, but music always made me happy. And I knew that I was going to be on a stage with a mic in the future. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what happened. And I've never stopped doing music and writing and performing. Now, when it comes to the business side of it, yes, I've been entertaining all my life and done thousands of shows all over. When it comes to the actual product that's out, people say it doesn't add up. Why it doesn't add up? Because when I first got into the industry, I didn't know the business side, and I was robbed blind of a lot of things and still trying to pick up the pieces of all the stuff that has happened to me business wise. And when you watch the movies of the entertainers, how they're out here touring and making music, but money coming in. Then you got people like me who's out here doing shows and performing, but don't have no product out because situation with the producers or, it's always something,
Mhm.
but it happens. But one thing I never stop, like I may not have the music for you to listen to, but I'm always going to entertain you. And that's why business wise, I had to tell people I'm an entertainer here to entertain you. No matter what I'm doing, it could be music, it could be radio, it could be writing, it just be anything. I'm just going to be here to entertain you no matter what until this stuff, my number one love, gets in order. But I used to do a lot of different type of songs, about I used to like dance, hip hop dance, so I like to do dance songs and be on stage and really entertain. I used to like rap, sing, and dance during my performances, right? Just really give the people me. And then when I got a little older, I started to show them a different side of Quest when everything changed.
Mm.
And now they got adult Quest, um, the Quest the lover, the like sensual one. Like, whoa, what just happened? Yes, here and there, I've done a little few inappropriate songs, like one here, literally one here, one there. So once I transition into that and do like a whole relaunch and revamp of who I was as an adult entertainer, which definitely just sounded like a porn star. But everything changed. Everything changed. Sometimes the way people viewed me, the way they looked at me, everything changed. Because we know how society can get. If they're looking at me as a hardworking, sweet young lady or innocent young lady, and then they hear me do a song about indulging or getting lost in love or giving out lap dances, like, whoa! Then they was like, whoa. You know what I mean? And then it came to the point that a lot of them assuming, oh, she must be locked down or in a relationship. So let me fall back a little bit. So the dynamic with people have changed, even on a personal level, just because I did a few selective songs about just being an adult T-Quest. But you can actually find those songs and those singles, on all the streaming platforms, like iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify, Pandora, YouTube, and you can even purchase it from my website from me personally. You can stream later, but just purchase from me first. No, for real, I'm so sick of
Hey,
this.
hey,
Like,
I feel you on that. You want to be able to collect all the dough and just instead of just pieces of it.
exactly.
So
And I
I hear you.
recently had to find ways to do that because the streaming world has really been messed up a lot of things. So now that I found out how to do it, you go to guyontheworld.com and you buy the song and then you go stream it. Just like with the new music that I'm working on right now, you buy it from the website first,
Mhm,
right? And then you go stream it later. So
mhm.
yeah, I think that's the way it should work for sure.
Yeah, yeah,
Absolutely.
no doubt. I feel you on that. So, there's two things that I picked out of that what you just spoke
I'm
about
sure
there,
you did.
and you know me,
Yep.
of course. There was the young T Quest, and then all of a sudden you mentioned the adult T Quest. Now, there had to be a transition in the middle there that inspired that, other than just age, because some people grow up earlier than others, but there's sometimes some type of transition, something that happens that puts them in that space to where because like you said about the business, you didn't know about the business, and then all of a sudden you found that the business um, can be a dirty and shady business, and that dirty and shady business, it's really sad to say, but you get a lot of female artists who are out there trying to do the best that they possibly can, trying to get things released, and the first thing that comes up is you get step two. One of these deals is yours for this kind of deal situation, and it's really sad that it is that way. Now I know that you've probably experienced that, so I don't want you to even walk through all of that, and you've probably had that experience numerous times. But that transition of, you know what, you've had enough
Mhm.
and you moved forward. What was that transition like, or what ignited that transition?
So start doing the type of music that I do now.
Yes.
Well, once again, sometimes my answers are a little unorthodox and not what people would assume. The reason why I started to do more sensual love songs with the revamp is because I was talking to someone in the industry, right? And he just heard about me and stuff, and we're having a conversation. He was like, "So, what's your market?" I'm like, "What are you talking about? Like, who's your audience?" I'm like, "Everyone." What do you mean? Everyone's my audience. I want everyone to love my music. It's super music. When I do family events, all the kids like it, the adults like it, the white people, the black people. My music is for everyone. And if they don't like it, I'll just do a song in the genre that they like and call it a day. I'm here to do music for everybody. He was like, okay, like that got to stop. I'm like, what are you talking about? He was like, I get it. You want to make music for everyone, but if you really try to succeed in this industry, you have to pick a market. You have to pick an audience. And then you go from there. I'm like, you know what? I'm not listening to anything he got to say. Like everyone says that I know for a fact that I have it within me to make music for everybody, even if it's just a song. Someone's gonna like something of mine, right? And then I thought about it, and then he was like, "Well, you still gonna have to pick one. So, what's your strong point?"
Mm.
And I said, My speaking voice. My voice is my strong set. The seductiveness in my voice, what I use for voiceover work, is my strong point. So, how come I'm not making music with my strong point? And then my whole brand, Gotta Love Me, is all about love. So, how come I'm not making love music? There's a problem there.
Mm.
So, then when my producer, one of my producers at the time, he was like, our birthday is coming up. I'm like, I know. And he was like, you know what? We met and we were supposed to collab. That's how we met. I'm like, you're right. So and so linked us together to collab, and it never happened. So I was like, so he's like, I think it's time to do what we were supposed to do in the beginning. Let's collab. He said, I'll produce the tracks and you write the song. I said, okay. He said, what do you want to write about? I was like, love. I want to write about love. He said, what about it? I'm like, whatever comes to mind, I'm just going to write about love. And that's how the Lost in Love EP started. He produced a track right there, and I just wrote to it. And then another one, I just wrote to it. And then another one, I just wrote to it. And then we just put it out. And that started the whole revamp of T Quest and Gotta Love Me. And me tapping into my strong point. And then I started writing more and doing radio more and doing more love therapy with strong point. And it just started writing to really evolve. And I'm like, you know what? What he said made sense. I was just hard headed at first, like a lot of artists think we can just do any and everything and please everyone. And sometimes it takes that person. That's why I tell a lot of people I envy people with teams and management and friends that's right there to really have their back and help them with things. Because if I had the proper guidance from the start, then I really would have progressed even further along. But everything happens for a reason, and I don't take back majority of it. So the past is the past, but it's all about learning from all that and
Mm-hmm.
just knowing how to execute properly going forward.
Gotcha. So everything that I know about you too, in terms of your the way you do things, you have this thing, this aura, and it's all love filled, and you write about it. But and I've had a conversation with you before about what is it that you want most, and you said
I
love.
don't remember.
You said love. So what is it about love that you feel that you're missing?
Well, I can take that from so many different angles, you know.
Take them all.
Okay. Well, most importantly, I desire self love. I've been T Quest for so long, I forgot about self. I forgot about Tara. So now I'm just trying to make it right within me, which is her. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And I feel like I would progress even further once I really have true, genuine self love for myself. Outside of that, growing up, I've always, was inside doing schoolwork because I was a nerd. I wasn't really outside playing with kids and stuff, and I didn't feel like I fit in any way. So, to myself, and I'm watching these people on TV and the love between the siblings and how they're each other's best friend or the dynamics with the parents and stuff. This is all the stuff I truly desired. The love that they showed one another.
Mm.
Now, in my family, of course, we love one another, but that type of affection I saw wasn't my reality. And I desired it and I want it. So and then even when it comes to friends and the love you have for friends, just being there for one another, but I desired that stuff. So when I finally settled in, because y'all moved around a lot, especially like in high school, I'm like, okay, I'm settled now.
Hmm.
I'm gonna make friends. And the moment I did, like I cherished them and I honored them and I supported them and I spoiled them because it was just such a beautiful thing to have people around. But then I realized that wasn't really my friends. They were just around because I was a giver and I was being nice. And then they just sucked the life out of me to the point when I said no, they just disappeared. Even with people, I'm like, I want to click, I want a crew, I want people around, I want to fit in. And then when I started being around people, they were just leeches and just negative and just like just bad news. And I'm like, this is what I wanted. I'm like, I don't think I wanted it like this. Even when it comes to the industry, I want to know people in the industry and DJs and promoters and all this stuff. But then the moment I met them, these wasn't the type I wanted, but I
Right.
got what I wanted. I just wasn't very specific. You have to speak life and be very clear of what you want and what you desire and manifest it so it can actually happen. You know, just like in relationships, you like, I wanted this and that, but I didn't get that. What was you very clear? And did you take the time out to make sure that's what you wanted and you desired? You know, so it's just love from everywhere. And now I'm at that point. At the end of the day, I'm only responsible for how I am and how I treat people. So I just treat people the way I want to be treated. And I give everyone love and support and nothing but positivity and try to be here as much as I can. And even if they don't do the same in return, I'm only responsible for my actions. And everything I do it with love, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? For someone who knows you, they definitely see that in you. Um, and also they see you are very energetic when they're standing next to you. I've been a witness. Uh, she likes to dance. She likes to move. So she's like, hey, I'm gonna do some things. I gotta get out here. I gotta move. I gotta dance, 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 dance. So with the love and then with the different types of projects that you do, um, and you digging into this big word, like, we only tapped into one corner of the love situation, but there are definitely several others. But as it relates to your music, um, when you're in the studio and you are thinking about this, are you what is that thing that helps you get through to get this song just to be get that message across? You get what I'm saying? That for this particular song, this type of love, for this particular song, it's this type of love, so it doesn't all sound the same, because from the songs that I've listened to that are yours, they are very different. So what is your process on that?
Well, my process really doesn't have anything to do with the studio. It's just the story that the beat tells me once I hear it. I'm a type of person, we can have a conversation and a whole movie is playing in my head. That's why certain conversations I don't have with certain people because I'm visualizing everything you're saying. So when I'm listening to a beat that I organically gravitate to, I allow the beat to tell me the story and then I write it.
Hmm.
Hmm. And a lot of it may come from past experiences or something I've witnessed, and sometimes I may write a song inspired by the producer who produced the track. You just never really know. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Yeah, speaking of past experiences as well as maybe current experiences,
Mhm.
um, some of the music does have kind of a relationship type vibe to it, of course. And in speaking to you, along with a few others, I've learned a few words. I've
Mhm.
learned manipulationships, I've learned situationships, and I've learned entanglements. Now, in these particular words, as in you're writing about your music, has any of those three categories of relationships kind of flowed into your music at all?
Well, I've never been in a relationship.
You've
I've
never been in a
I've
relationship.
never been in a relationship. I've only been in situationships, and I would never be in an entanglement.
Okay. So tell us about your situationships then, if you don't mind. If you
I
will
mean,
indulge.
you're funny. I mean, at the end of the day, in my 20s, getting out there in the world, just exploring, I know what I always wanted, but until then, I'm just out here. I'm performing. I'm gigging. I'm meeting people. I'm connecting. Like I told you, I just wanted love. I wanted attention. I just wanted all that. So, I just be hanging out, and there's certain dudes that caught my attention more than others. And we'll converse and we'll hang out and this and the third. And of course, none of them made it to relationship status because either too young or lives are too different or just wanted different things in life. And it's okay, that happens.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, it is what it is. But there's some of them who have songs that I've written that either are out or haven't been released about some of the dudes. Would you like me to give a few examples?
Yes, please do.
Of course you do. Um
Please do.
okay. So like one of the dudes that I wrote about, which you guys will read in my situationship book, that's coming out. I know we're gonna tap into that because we're not always in my business.
Indeed.
So one of the songs I wrote about him when we were actually in our situationship was called Counting the Days, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because during our situationship, he was always in and out of jail. So I was
Mm-hmm.
always counting the days till he got home. You know what I'm saying? And then after all of that, I wrote a new song inspired by him, and it was called Never Came Home because I felt like he never came home to me. Because what happens? He just always went back to the street.
Mm.
So those two songs, like, yeah, I'm counting as you get home. Then I realized you're not coming home to me. You're coming home, and then you just getting sucked right back into that lifestyle. Until after a while, I'm starting just to feel like your pen pal. I
Mm.
need something real. This ain't gonna work for me, And I had to grow to that because I met him early on, and I told him after a while, like, I can't do this no more. But the best thing about it now, he's definitely changed into a better man and on the right path. So I'm genuinely happy for him. It just didn't work for us. And of course, there's another song for someone who's called Can I be your lady? Right? Because this one dude, when I saw him, I was like, Where? Like, he's like, yo, what's up? Like, it was good. Like, I'm feeling the vibe, the whole energy, blah, 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 blah. And it's funny because this hot mess is in the book too. And he recently, remember that song you wrote about me? I'm like, why did I tell you about that? you know.
Mm-hmm.
So little things like that, yeah. And then I got some songs like subliminals with certain dudes, and one of them inspired me to write a song called "You're the Reason," because there was a time when I actually fell in love with one of my situationships,
Mm-hmm.
and they was like, "You're different." I'm like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "I don't know. It's like a glow about you. Like you're laughing more, smiling more." And when someone said it to me, when I got this beat from producer, I just started writing, and I was thinking of the dude. That's the reason why I'm glowing a little bit more. I'm like, "You're the reason. You're the reason for my action smiles and my extra glow and blah blah blah." So yeah, I'm definitely inspired by my surroundings and situations for sure. Yeah.
So you said that you've never been in a relationship and you've had a life full of situations.
Instead of life,
Okay.
media. See, the media always trying to twist up something. Just like, no,
Dang, I was
I
gonna
didn't
get
see
that
that.
sound bite too, you know? No, I'm just messing. So in terms of you, let's talk about T Quest, and we're going to Amazon, the human
I can't.
let's see, the mate store, Amazon the mate store. And I think you've probably heard this from me before, maybe.
Just sick of
But
this game.
so that we can learn about what would be that not ideal just on the surface, maybe adding a few extra parts or the personality, the type of heart, as far as spiritual wise and things of that nature. So you're walking in Amazon, the mate edition, and you get a chance to walk into this Amazon and build your mate, build your mate from scratch. I mean, you walk in, the first thing you see is a bunch of torsos. Then you see the arms, you see the legs, you see the head, the height, short height, tall height, all of that. Then you get to the inner parts, in terms of what type of heart that person has, the personality, all of that. So, and I'm gonna walk in the store with you because I got this camera up. So we're walking in. Hey, how you doing, everybody? Yeah, this is T Quest, the illustrious T Quest here, and I'm DJ Square Knot. And we're walking in here, and she grabs a cart. She walks over to the first cage or the first rack or whatever, and it's torsos. Let's start there. Build your man.
Can I have a disclaimer first?
Sure.
Let's be very clear, people, okay? Before we start this game, because I'm going to play the game, that when it comes to T-Quest, I am so about the inner.
Yes.
That the outer appearance is pretty much over there, okay? Over there. Let's be clear. Because I can build the perfect man, but if he doesn't have what I need within, it would never work. I don't care what he looks like. Does that make sense?
Perfect sense.
To a certain degree, of course.
This game.
Okay.
Because what I want to expose, the reason I'm doing this is we're gonna go through this. But right off the bat, I will add to that disclaimer is that from everything that I know about you, I know that the physical does not matter to you. You're more concerned about how a person treats you and all of that. But the fact remains is that you can't just build the innards, so you have to have the shell. So you can start with a basic shell, and then let's go from there.
Okay. All right. We're gonna play a little game, friend. We're gonna play a little game. All right. Now, if the man has everything I truly desire within in the way he treats me, now at the same time, I technically, like you say, have to be physically attracted to you too, right?
Mm-hmm. So you're walking through the aisle.
Walking through the aisle. Now, as a woman, we all say the same thing. If it was up to us, we would love a man to be taller than us, which is kind of a benefit because I am 5'5", which is average height for a woman. So if I had to have a certain height requirement, I would prefer maybe 5'10" to 6'3".
Okay.
Good?
Good.
Okay, great. Now, if you want to get on deep with complexions, I don't care. Like, if I had to pick, I'll pick brown skin, not light skin, because they think they just prettier than the world. But they're not gonna have this one, okay? Now, if I had to pick a complexion, I would pick brown skin, just like myself. You know what I'm saying? And if it came to size wise, I would need someone who's medium thick built. Does that make sense? Meaning I'd rather not skinny, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want too big because that's just too much fat on all areas rubbing together. And I need someone who has the strength and ability to twirl me around under. No, someone that has strength, because when I'm around you, I want to feel like I'm safe and secure.
Gotcha.
I do. Kind of like a bouncer build. If I had to pick a bouncer build that has the muscles but still got some meat to grab on, you know what I'm saying? I just melt in his arms of safety. That makes sense?
That makes perfect sense.
Okay, awesome. Now, here goes the shallow part, right? Everyone has their favorite body part. I mean, personally, mine is lips. So this goes for any man out there. If I don't like your lips, we would never be in a relationship. I should put that on a t-shirt. Okay? It's just the honest truth.
You said lips.
Lips. Yes.
Okay, so explain to me what those lips would look like. Of course, I know you get ready to do that. So you're at the board right now of lips.
Yeah.
What does your man's lips look like?
Okay, so they have to just be kissable. Because if I don't want to kiss you 24/7, then it's not going to work. Which means they have to be moisturized, smooth, not chapped. I just want to kiss you 24/7.
So
Right.
there is no Ashy Larry situations going on.
That would never work for me. Ever in life. I don't care if Larry was a billionaire. I don't give a damn. Okay. We're gonna have to find you new lips and you can just use a T-Quest cosmetic line lip balm. We're gonna get you right if need be. But yes, everything around the lips is very important. Whether they're nice lips, full lips, not chapped lips, and then your breath has to be on point because that's a part of the whole lip area. Okay. So if you have bad breath, it would never work out. If you don't have lips sound like it would never work out. Like that's just my thing. Everyone has their thing. That's my thing. You know what I'm saying? So it'd be nice if he has a nice smile. So when he just smiles like right? But if not, that's okay too, because genetic wise, you're not sure what type of features you're going to have. But if it's something that you want to fix and you're subconscious about, we will level up, elevate together, and we can get that right for you, boo boo. Period. You know what I'm saying? As far as hair, it's not a big deal as long as you're growing properly. If you wear dreads, keep your dreads up. If you wear braids still at our age, okay, just keep them neat. If you got a low cut, awesomeness. If your low cut needs to be bald, don't do the struggle. Just let it go. You're not
Let it
really
go.
just let it go. Exactly. Just let it go. Because I see people and they have the hairline way back here trying to preserve the little bit of stuff that's struggling. Maybe they need them juice and berries from coming to America. I don't know. Just let it go. As long as it's grown. Wary. Now, let's see, we got height here. Accessories. I'm a nerd, so I got like the things for glasses. Hey, Santa. Um, but if you can see, God bless you. Yes, yes. What else is there, Square Not? This whole thing. What's
So
there?
now you got the physical.
Okay.
So now let's talk about the inside.
Yay.
Now the inside, you build the inside. Let's talk
Okay.
about his heart. Let's talk about the personality. Let's talk about where his personality would connect with you, to where you would be able to fall in love. Whatever it is about that person that would inside that would have you fall in love and let it be true love, so that you could finally find that one. What build that inside.
Mm. Okay. So building this inside is after we have that physical connection and chemistry, right? Now
Mhm.
that you caught me here, it's time for you to catch me in here. Now, I'm gonna need someone who has a big heart just like I do. I love to give. I need someone who's a giver, but smart givers, not like the dumb giver I used to be. Like just toss everything to people as if everybody was strippers, making it rain, and going home like, yo, what happened to my pockets? Not that type. Smart givers
Okay.
that genuinely want to help people and see them grow. You know what I'm saying? Like have a heart that just loves to just be there for people like me, right? Then I need someone to genuinely have my back because I never felt like I always had that one person in my corner that I could just be at peace for a moment, knowing that somebody's there comfortably, not with like motives or just here because they just want some wop. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to really
The new term of the day.
I know it's horrible. Normally I don't use terms like this, but it's funny.
Yeah.
But really here because they want to be, and they don't just. I want them to admire the businesswoman in T Quest and be like, "Yo, she got it going on." But I want them to be head over heels in love with Tara. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? Like just when they just think of her, just like, dang, I love that woman. Like that old school love that you used to see in movies and stuff. Like when you talk to a lot of people that's been married for 20, 30, 40, 50 years, not just because it's something that they're comfortable with, it's because they genuinely fall in love with that person over
mhm.
and over and over again. That's the type of love if I can have, that's the one I want. And know that if I'm now changing things based off my experiences, right? And
Mhm.
one of the things I've noticed in my experiences, and I'm the type of person, if I am down, don't come down with me. Bring me back up.
Mm. I
If I
always
call
say,
you and I'm just nonchalant, like, hey, what's up? What's wrong with you? Nothing. And then you go, all right. No, 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 no. If I'm down, be like, what's wrong with you? Like, I know this ain't you, so you want to talk about it or something. If it's something too personal, we'll talk about it later. I don't want to see you down. This is not you. But you're
mhm.
right to have your moment. But just remember, like, I'm here if you want to talk, okay? I'm like, I appreciate that. Yeah. I don't see that beautiful face smile, frowning or crying. No, we don't need that. We need you, Popo. And then I'll just uplift spirit. You know what I'm saying? Because like I'm always going to people. I'm pouring to people. When's somebody gonna pour back into me?
Right,
And
right.
I'm definitely gonna need that from a mate, right?
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. I always say, if that's why when it came to me and my wife, I was like, I needed someone who, if I'm down, she would be able to, stand me up and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very, very important. Now, you have your man, you haven't built. Um,
Mm-mm.
okay, there's one more.
And just
Okay,
something else I want to put in there
okay.
based off experiences. Okay, so a lot of people has been heartbroken before, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now they're trying to find out new ways to maneuver through new relationships. And a
Mm-hmm.
lot of them are fussing and arguments, and they just tired of that, right? So now it's to the point when they come to me, and I just want to have a conversation with them. They're so afraid that it's going to turn into an argument that they're brushing me off. That's a major problem for someone like me. It's not easy to find someone who actually wants to talk or have a conversation and just literally just have a conversation, not an argument, just
Mm-hmm.
for me to be on the same page, to have a clear understanding so we can move forward properly.
Right.
Calming just like this. But they're so afraid, like, they just, never mind. No, it ain't nothing. Don't even worry about it. Okay. No, if you brush me off for something minor, I'm afraid you're going to brush me off for something major. And that's a major problem. You know? I wrote a song about that and I'm going to revamp it. It's called Don't Punish Me. I understand you've been hurt before. I understand this woman do all this stuff, but don't punish me for what they did. It's
Mm.
not fair to me. It's not.
Yeah, that's the word that comes to mind when you mention that is baggage.
Mm.
you
I remember there was a
know,
time where I had baggage with nothing in it, but that's another
yeah,
story. But
bag.
yeah, after all that, I need someone who's about their business so we can level up together and be bosses together and just have fun and know how to, just handle business, love family, love self, love each other, but know how to balance it. Not afraid to do karaoke, go bowling, play spades, play taboo, just have that balance of what a human should be. But if not, then, we'll adjust a little bit, but it'd be nice to have a spades partner.
Mm, I got you.
But you can play on the other side because I'm going to win regardless.
I feel you. Well, you've built your man
Yeah.
and you feel pretty good about him.
Hmm.
Now, of course, you're saying, the different things you guys want to do or whatever. And you have mentioned, the whole thing down to going and just having some good time together, playing spades, any of that, right? Any
Yeah.
type of entertainment.
Hmm.
But now comes the T Quest part or the Tara Little part.
Hmm.
Now you've built him. You put every you've managed to get him the way you want him to. Not necessarily, because I don't want this to be confused with, because a lot of times this can be confused with changing someone. You
Hmm.
didn't change him because you built him. This is an exercise. You built him. So now that you got him and he is set and he's there, he's with you, he's loving, he's all of this, he's all of that. What are you going to do to make sure that he is happy? Because all that we've talked about now, for the most part, is you, of course, him sometime. But what are you going to do now to make sure that he is happy and satisfied?
Well, that's very simple. I'm just gonna be me, square up. You know,
And what is you? What would be you as T Quest the girlfriend, T Quest the
oh my
fiance, T Quest the fiance, T Quest the wife?
That's a lot of titles, but I'm used to juggling multiple titles. I mean, like I say, I'm just going to be me. For anyone who knows me, know that I'm loving, I'm caring, I'm giving. Like I will be your ride or die, as long as you don't put my life in danger, because that's like some foolishness. But someone who truly loves you wouldn't put you in that type of situation. That's just how I feel, right? And I'm the type that I will submit to my man and my husband, right? Some people don't believe in it. I said, well, if you're submitting to the right partner, they're not going to steer you wrong. You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy to do that. I'm happy to be a cheerleader. I'm happy to be a support system. If you are down, I want to lift you up. I want to encourage. I want to let you know no matter what, I got your back. You know what I'm saying? If you want to talk about something, I'm here to listen. If you need your space, I'll let you have that. If you need your time by yourself or time with your boys in the man cave, do you. If that makes you happy, I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, I know how to cook. I know how to clean. I don't mind catering to my man. I don't mind keeping him happy. You know what I'm saying? And then when it comes to physical stuff or even in the bedroom or whatever, like, no, I can please you. I'm down for all of that. Whatever you want to do, the majority of it, I'm cool with it. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we'll have that conversation in the dating phase to see exactly where each other is, like sex level drives and all that stuff. Because that is a big deal in a relationship. It's not the main thing, but of course, you're gonna have to have that conversation. Because I don't know if you are a chill person or you over here want to, throw me on the chandelier. We gotta have the conversation. You know what I'm saying? But the majority of things, when they said a guy's list is small and a woman's list is big of what they desire from each other, from the main things that a guy truly desires from me, I'm capable of doing, and I'm willing and happy to do. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? Not a
Cool
problem.
beans.
I want my king to be happy. I
Cool
want him
beans.
to just be as much as I can help him be that way. Like, I'm here, period.
Cool beans. I'm glad that you mentioned a word in there. And sometimes people look at this word as kind of a negative word, because they don't understand the relationship piece, and that is submit.
Hmm.
And submit can be a wonderful thing. And it works both ways. It's just not the wife submitting to her husband, but sometimes the husbands have to submit to their wives, you know. So, and the reason I'm glad you're just really great at setting up my segues. Um, so because the other piece to it, and this is the last piece about the relationship before we move on to a couple more things, and I'll let you go. But as it relates to that, of course, it looks like you would definitely be in for a true partnership. And in a partnership, you both have 50%. So in your partnership, you both have 50% of the relationship,
100.
right?
Hmm.
So now my wife and I, we call these heated fellowships. And a heated fellowship is where you have a little bit of a disagreement that is, you can't resolve it. But let's say, or should I say, you are trying to work to resolve it. But if you're 50%, each of you, you're never going to get it resolved, right? So there's this little technique, and I want to get your opinion on this,
Mhm.
because we were taught this by a pastor, and he said, um, it's always good to have an equal partnership because it should never be totally, even though the woman said that she will submit to her husband and the husband should submit to his wife. That way it stays balanced. But there are going to be times when you have to, quote unquote, pull a card and just to kind of get over the hump with whatever this heated fellowship is. So he said that you can always stay equal if you guys donate 1%. So that puts 2% in a shoebox, a virtual shoebox. That leaves you both with 49%, right? So then
Mhm.
you put that virtual shoebox up in the closet or whatever. So you and your man that you just built, y'all are going through some stuff and everything, and he comes and says, honey, this and that. And you go, nope, that's not right, honey, blah, 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 blah. The T Quest is going to let you know, and blah, 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 blah. And he's like, nope, that's not blah, blah, blah. And she's like, I'm telling you, honey, this is the way it is. Then you're able to go to that shoebox, pull that 2% down, and now you have 51% and game over. So what do you think about that technique?
I don't understand it.
How would you resolve the most heated argument is what I'm getting to.
I would need you to actually give me an example of a topic that would make it heated in order for me to answer this properly.
Okay. Um let's say two things in a relationship that always tears relationships apart or at least brings about some real heat. One of course is infidelity and the other is finances.
Mhm.
So you built this guy, and but there was one piece you find out after you built him, and he's like, he's not that great, all that great with money.
Mhm.
So you are looking at the bank account one day and something goes wrong. You're like, what in the world is going on?
Mhm.
He spent $500 on soap boxes. You get what I'm saying? I'm just saying.
Enough.
So how do you how would you step to him? How would you go to him and try to resolve that issue and let them know that this is something that is not acceptable in the relationship?
Mhm. Well, I'll just be an adult and have a conversation, and I'll just ask. I'm just curious. I was checking the bank statements, and it says you purchased $500 of soap box. Why? Like, are you starting a business or something? Like, I'm just curious. Like, what's happening? Is there like a community event and they're doing something and they need this? Like, I need to know what's going on, And even because I felt like it, like, well, it's not going to work, okay? Because technically, if we have to pay bills and everything is budgeted properly, if that ain't in no miscellaneous fund that you have comfortability to splurge, you can't just do that. And especially with that amount, you can't do that without notifying me. Because God forbid something is to happen. I'm thinking we have the funds to handle something important, and you over here buying soapbox. That's not how it works in a partnership, you know. But if that's the case, if he was bad with finances, I will be in charge of the finance. Period. Just like my sister and her husband. Not that he's bad with the kid; he's a business major and stuff. But that's her portion in their union. She handles all the finances, and she has a background in finances too. So if I know he's like that ahead of time, we've already had the conversation, and it wouldn't be a red flag by the time we move on to relationship or marriage. It will be green before then because if it's red in the beginning, we're not moving forward. But like you said, that's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
But if you feel like, well, I make this money and I earn it, I can be able. If that's how you feel, and you're not going to be a responsible adult about the situation, then we don't need to be together. Because one thing I'm not going to do is have the same conversation over and over again. So that's toxic. I don't need that, and it'll be toxic to the relationship too. So.
Well, the reason I asked that, I know you're probably wondering, why is he asking that question? I asked that question because I checked. I was looking at your more of anything, your demeanor.
Hmm.
Of how you would say, and you seem very calm, seem very collected about it.
Mhm.
and how to you approach it in a way that there is not an attack.
Mhm.
Because you know, um, I know guys who have had mates, and of course, certain other things they've come to them with, and it's an immediate attack.
Mhm.
But if you have what you just did, I think you would have a very successful relationship. That's
Right.
just what I see and what I believe. So
I appreciate that.
this was all part of, you know, me
The
learning about
testing
you more,
for
and then you being exposed and just talking through, so this to see. So there is your king will find you, the queen, for sure. He will find you. He will definitely find you, and I believe that. So
I appreciate that. And people who know me, I don't like confrontations, arguments, debates. Like that stuff literally makes me unhealthy. Like I physically can't tolerate it. And that's why in the situation when I was conversing with someone and I felt like there was tension there, but he kept brushing off like ain't nothing. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, clearly there's something going on. Anyone can read this and tell there's something going on. Now, I'm going to need you to communicate with me so we can resolve it because there's no reason to have tension if there's no tension that you're saying. But there's clearly that it is. Now, if it's something you just want to talk about it right now, I can respect that, but you have to tell me that, or this is going to be very awkward, and I don't want things to be awkward because once it becomes awkward, once it becomes a red flag, T Quest is about to go bye bye, period. So how do you want to do this? I'm coming to you like an adult, like most people don't. I want to communicate with you. Most people don't know how to. Like I'm here. But if you're just gonna brush me off, I'm telling you right now, that's not gonna be a good thing. Because once you brush me off, I'm literally out the door. I don't know what you're talking about. It's like
cool
in
beans.
this moment, okay.
So then if he acts up, you say, you know what? I'm getting ready to go out. I'm going in the bedroom. I'm getting myself together. And then I'm going to put me on some makeup and I'm going to get my things going because guess what? I can put on makeup because I have my own cosmetic line.
Hey, go me. Ew, ew.
So now you're stepping out and you're using your own cosmetic line. Tell me about that. What's going on? Share that with the people. You see how I segued that in there?
I see that. You're like the male version of me. So yes, I have the GM collection, the lip gloss line. And one thing I love about my line, I remember I was talking to this businessman. He said, "What makes sure probably different from everybody else's? Because a lot of people are opening up cosmetic lines, all businesses, and a lot of them is just taking a product and putting their name on it. I'm not trying to discredit you, but that's something I personally didn't want to do. I wanted to be authentic, like myself, right? So then me and my business partner literally came up with the concoction of a lip gloss with all the natural ingredients in it, homemade, not from a store and put a sticker on it, right? And then on top of that, I said the display has to be very unique. So with the display, I made sure that it has something that's very convenient for the women. So it has a mirror and an LED light. So when you're out in the club or in the car or anywhere dark and you want to apply really quick and you don't have to hold a light, you don't have to, you literally just hold the two and you, meow, meow, meow. Matter of fact, let me go get one for you.
Yeah, please do. Go ahead and expose and show that to us.
Yeah. Because I had it here, but then it kind of fell on the floor. So
Yeah, and this will help count as a copyright as well.
exactly. So let them know that it's already been done. Thank you. Appreciate you. All right. So it's gonna be weird with my lights already on. But for now, because I don't want to have to go get everything. So here's one of them. It's the rose one. See the mirror right here?
Mm-hmm.
So of course I've been using this forever. So normally the light would shine, but then I'll just go like that, and put it on, use it. Right. So yeah. I could go in the other room to get the one with the light, but that's gonna take too long. But yeah, it's
Gotcha.
kind of dope. It's kind of dope. And I love it. And it's convenient and it's awesome. Of course, when I first came out with it, I was very happy to have something with my name on it. Like, this is my baby. But then, as an entrepreneur, you get the good and the bad customers. You have a certain type of customer that wants to bargain with you. You know, they think your prices are too high, too this and do that. How about if you do this and that? Maybe if I give you this amount. At the end of the day, at first you upset, you're uncomfortable, you're mad. But you know what? Once you grow to a mature mindset, I'm just like, you're just not my customer.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. Then you have the others. Well, how much is it? This amount. Okay, here you go. Which one would you like? You want the the rose petal that smells like strawberries? You want the pink lace that smells like grapefruit? Like, what do you want? The print? You know what I'm saying? Like chocolate truffle, the caramel glaze. Like, which one would you want? You know, like I want this. I'm like, okay, well, here you go, and thank you for your services. Make sure you send me a picture so I can put you on social media, and please tell it to a friend and tell a friend if you enjoy my products.
Hmm. There you go.
Just like that.
That was a commercial in itself.
I'm a walking commercial nowadays. I used to be like, why do people keep saying that? Like, cause you always talk. I'm like, you know what? I am not no longer apologizing for who I am today. You know,
And
I
so
used to
you shouldn't.
apologize for not get hitting people back in time or texting them back or calling them back. Now I'm like, hey, you see my life. I'm not hiding it. You can tell that I'm busy. So if you don't hear from me, you know that I'm busy. You know, just like myself, no, I'm not bargaining with you. You're just not my customer. I'm not going to argue back and forth. We're not doing this window shopping thing for 37 minutes when you know you ain't going to buy nothing. We're not doing that. You know what I'm saying? We're not.
Right.
Yes, I always
Right.
talk about work commercial. I'm a radio personality. I do voice work. This is what I do 24/7. It's within me. You know,
Right.
I'm not trying to tell you something. This is how I speak now. Either you can get with it or you don't. Either way, I'm still going to sleep pretty well at night. I'm not apologizing no more. I'm not upset that, you know, I can't contact this person, talk to this person, or text this person, check up on it. Where I'm at today in my life is just not realistic to my norm. Period. Some may get it, some may not. I'm not stressing no more about the ones who don't because that's just
Exactly.
unhealthy to me.
I always say that the ones that get it and the ones that support are the ones that were put there for you and will help carry you forward.
Mhm.
All the ones who sit off on the sidelines and they chat and they hate and do everything, that's where they were put there to stay back while you pretty much, I look at it like this. You're hopping in your ride and you're
Mhm.
looking in your rear view mirror and they're getting smaller and smaller. While
Mm.
everyone else that's traveling with you, they're sitting there. You look out your right window, you look out your left window, they riding right along with you. That's
That
the deal. So, but they're
seatbelts
getting
out.
smaller and smaller in your rear view. And
Mhm.
that's how you have to look at that. You know, if my wife, and you know, it's the same thing with my wife and I, if we depended on uh the confirmation of others, we
Mhm.
would not be doing it. We would not be where we're at today in terms of doing the things that we do and we do them together. And I know that you are like that. So, you know, I can't help but bring it up as well. You know, you got your cosmetic line
Mhm.
and then you have an apparel line.
Yeah.
So tell us about that as well. See, I know this is kind of sounding like an infomercial, but
I love
I'm bringing
it.
up I'm bringing up all of this for a reason.
You do everything I do. That's why I smile because I literally say the same words. And I mean, I'm like, so that's going to segue into this. And I'm glad you mentioned that because I just, you know, I love it. Yes, do have a clothing line called the GLM collection. It is apparel for men, women, kids, baby, even dogs, you know, something for the whole family. You know, we got a couple of designs out there, which you can see the different varieties on my website, gottawomanworld.com. And I love it. I was actually working on some flyers, some new promo for it today, and just seeing the flyers and stuff come together just put a smile on my face. And that's what it's all about. If you're going to be having a business and being an entrepreneur, whether the money is coming in the way you want, you still have to love what you do because that's going to really get you through the days where you're not getting exactly what you want from the people. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So yes, I do have the GLM collection, and you guys can purchase whatever you want from the website, gullenroad.com. Yeah,
Yeah. And see, you bring up another good point, and that is you don't do it for the money. And like I tell people all the time, if you step into anything with the focus being money, sure, you may get money right then, but it's for a very short time.
Mhm.
You know, it's for the immediate.
Mhm.
When you go into it for the love of the craft, for the love of and the focus of something that's going to be bigger, something that you see on the horizon, it can grow
Mhm.
because everything grows with time. It's just like if you plant a seed,
Mhm.
over time, you have some type of flower or some type of plant that comes out of the dirt. And that happens over time.
Mhm.
So that's what that's about. You're building, you're setting these seeds, and then they're going to grow, they're going to sprout, and they spread. As we know, flowers, through the help of nature's creations, they spread. And the
Mhm.
same thing happens in business.
Right.
And that the way that happens is through networking, which is our nature's way.
Mhm.
And you are obviously doing a lot of that, and that makes your life even better. And all you have to do is pretty much, there's one word, well, there's two words actually. You need to believe and always keep focus
Mhm.
as your two main deals right there in front of your mind at all times. And I believe you have them. And I believe that you will see those individuals get smaller and smaller in the rear view as you progress.
Mhm.
And it's just a matter of just going out there and get them to love you, because they gotta love T Quest.
I love me. All about that love. Stay with hearts around me. See?
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Love the love.
Yes, indeed. So, I know we're getting to the end because I didn't even ask you about your time.
I
But
have all the time in the world for you, Square Knot.
well, I really, really appreciate that. You had quite a few people chime in. You had a lot of Fleet DJ family, a lot of Fleet family chime in, of course.
Really?
Yes, a ton of Fleet family chime in.
Wow.
You
That was
had,
good to me.
yep, you had your sister Whitney was in here.
Hey, Winning Escape.
You know,
Best travel agency in the world.
yeah, yeah. Dave G is in here. Uh,
Hey.
and then of course I got my wife in. My wife said, "Love this." DJ Rod Flash is in here. And what's up, T Quest? What's up, Square Knot? DJ Mark J. Uh,
Okay.
uh,
Virginia in the house.
yeah, Hal Burton, UK.
Okay, Callie in the house.
Yeah, yeah. So Ray Dell, Battle.
Okay, Connecticut in the house. Yeah, I be knowing my peoples because I, like you said, I network. You
Yes,
know.
Glenda Belton is in here. Of course, Silent Professor's in here, and the list goes on and on and on. And DJ Baby D, and she's one of the first DJs, female DJs in the game, and she came in to support and show you some love as well. So, but yeah, so you got people that love you, because there was, like, all I could see was hearts and all different colors, all these different emojis and different things, which, even though I'm a tech guy, I'm gonna tell you a secret.
Yeah.
I have no clue how to use emojis other than the thumb and maybe the red heart and maybe a smiley face.
You know what? I'm not shocked. It'd be
So
the simple thing is most people don't understand.
yeah, so when it comes to that, hey, my common sense in that sense is not common. I'll put it to you that way.
All right. It is quite all right. Trust me.
So we've dug into your Kool-Aid quite a bit. We stirred it up and we've got a few sips. Is there anything else that you feel that you would want to share with us, to let us know more about T-Quest and what is to come before? Because you mentioned about the book, and I want to give you some time to talk about the book. Before I step into that, though, is there anything else?
Yes, my birthday's coming up on October 20th. You guys can support it by Cash App $ TQuest GLM. And I'm having a virtual party the night before, October 19th at 11:30 p.m. Eastern on Zoom. It's literally just to bring it in, not no long-winded thing, maybe hour and a half top, 2 hours max, you know. And I just want the people who genuinely have love for T-Quest, just tap in. That's all you got to do is click the Zoom and just show that you're here for me. I don't think that's asking too much. I think
So are you going to have a drink?
You mean like water? Oh,
No,
you mean a drink drink.
drink.
Square I don't really need that. Quest 2.0 is the way to go. But
Quest
I
2.
may put something in a champagne glass just because. It's
Okay.
not a
Okay.
necessity for me, but I can
Mm,
definitely do that. But I just want to say I'm here. I do a lot. And I appreciate people saying kudos to me and so proud of you and yay. That's cool to a certain degree, but at the end of the day, this is still a business
mhm,
and winky faces, heart eyes, thumbs up. That don't help me progress in life. What
mhm.
helps you progress is you actually putting the action behind those words and supporting the right way with what I do, which is to utilize my services,
Mhm.
and that's just being honest. Like, I respect that y'all love what I do, but you can show love with action, but actually using and purchasing and ordering and booking my services.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the part I tell other people: when you're a fan or supporter, you still have to do your job.
True.
Technically, it's the fans, supporters, consumers, and customers are the ones that keep your brand alive, not just window shopping.
Mhm.
You have to actually purchase what is there for you to purchase, what's there for you to add to cart.
Mhm.
And I told people, I get it, but I need you to get me. I
Got
do all these things, but in order for me to keep doing these things, you have to actually support the business the right way. So
got you.
hit me up if you need any of my services or my items or my merchandise or whatever. I'm here for you. Keep
Cool
the brand
beans.
alive. Do your part. Shout out to all the people that rock with me and show love to me, and especially shout out to my sister, the number one travel agency in the world, because even with her company, like, her company is my baby. Why? Because that's my family, and I support it and I treat it like it's my business. So if you guys need any type of traveling needs, make sure you contact her or me, and we can take care of that for you. And we're having a phenomenal women's retreat coming up, and normally it's out of the country, but this year we're gonna do it in the country. But because of COVID,
Mhm.
now we're actually making it virtual. It's in a month. It's actually November 7th. So if you know any phenomenal women out there that just want to get on the retreat virtually, just let us know. We're actually come back in all 3 days in one. We're still gonna have the DJ. We're still gonna have the vendors, the power panel, all the raffle prizes. Everything is still gonna be there, just virtually all in one day, one setting. So, all you women out there that just want to be part of something incredible, hit me up so I can let you know how to register. And even if you men know some women, just send them our way so they can be a part of it and just support each other and be here for one another. It's a lot of great things, and I just wanted to put that out as well. And of course, to go back to what we were really supposed to talk about, I had a girl moment, talk about everything else besides what I'm supposed to be talking about. Yes, I do have some books and stuff that will be coming out, and one of them is the one people are really eager to hear and read, which is the situationship book. But that book has altered over the years, and now I see why certain authors take a while to write it. In my mind, when I first started, like, it should be easy for me to write because it's just real stories. So why is it so hard for me to write? But then I realized every time I go back to it, every few years, I'm looking at it from a different emotion. I'm looking at it from a different perspective. And then I had a chance to talk to the men years later to actually get their perspective of our situationship, which means these stories are still being altered, even though it's the same story.
Mm. So let me answer this question as we talk about the book.
Mhm,
Um, I get the book.
mhm.
What does chapter 1 bring me?
Chapter one is the first situationship, which wasn't technically a situation, but it's the puppy love. About my best friend and how I fell for him back in like high school, and it's about our dynamic, how it started from a crush. It's actually called Puppy Love Gone Lost.
Mm.
Hmm.
We've all had that. I think I'm
Yeah.
a victim. I'd say I'm a victim of that too.
Mhm. Yeah. Our
But
dynamic is interesting, and they're gonna be like, wait, what? No way. That's what they're gonna get. So of course, people may feel some type of way with the first chapter because they all think it's all gonna be inappropriate um stories and all these like sexcapades and orgies. I don't know what people think of me, but they think they think that's what the book is about. I'm like, you have to allow it to grow to wherever it's going to grow. There's going to be a lot of spots like, oh, this is what's going to happen. Like a lot of you don't know how it's going to end. Then there's stories in there that's going to shock you. Like one of them is called Reunite Mayor. So it's some interesting.
So, do you have a release date for that, or are you getting really close? Because then you're going to be adding that title author to
Mm,
the whole GLM.
mm. I've been wanting that title for over a decade.
Mm,
People from a decade ago, they asked me, "You ever finish your book?" Because I started a book about my life, and it was just so therapeutic going back to it that I'm like, I don't want to put it out. I don't want people asking me questions. I don't want to answer that stuff. I don't want to relive those type of stories that I put in my book. At the end of the day, just because you experience something does not mean you have to tell the world. Some things are just meant for you to know, what go through, heal from, and keep it moving.
true that.
The only time I tap back into those stories is if I'm doing one of my therapy sessions with someone and they're talking about something like, you know what, I understand. They're like, what are you talking about? Like, I truly understand. Like, why? I said, because I've actually experienced something quite similar. And then I go into it. And the only reason I'm going to in that moment is to heal another heart, not to be someone's entertainment.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really looking forward to it because through it all, there's another piece to you that I didn't mention, but I really think I should, and because I know it's probably going to be in the book, and that is that T Quest has had several moments of pain. Is that true as it relates to your heart is concerned?
Of course.
So I know that we'll be able to read that, and through how you will uh, put that out there, I'm quite sure. With just like you say, you wake up in the morning and you check. The first thing you do is you check on to see if anybody's reached out to you, so that you can take care of those individuals or whatever through those particular pieces. Because there's so much of that going on. Um, I am definitely looking forward to reading that and seeing others read it to see what they get out of, and also experience the healing that you are going to be providing at that particular time. So
Absolutely.
thank you for that as well. So
Every,
definitely excited about your project, and I can't wait to get you on again and introduce you as uh, the author T Quest.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
gonna be tight. That's gonna be tight.
Every chapter of that particular book has an assessment at the end. What went wrong? What could have been better? Or, because people like, you just write a book about bashing men. I said, I never said I was bashing men. I was just going to write the stories and let you know why it didn't work out.
Mm,
You only feel that way because you're probably the type of men who do wrong. And some women can probably out you on a lot of crazy stuff.
hmm.
But I never said I was bashing anybody. I'm just simply telling the stories with a little twist because legally, certain things you can't do
Of
when it
course.
comes to tell all books and that stuff. People have to learn, to cover your tail. So it's going to be based off the stories, but it's
There,
still.
of course, there'll be some fictional characters to
Oh, I don't. I just
cover
like
that.
when I be out here, being a player. I'll never mention no names, friend. Now, what you mean?
Nah,
No
you ain't
names
dropping
mentioned.
dime like that,
Ain't no characters. Ain't no characters. It's just we talking.
huh?
Like he was this and blah 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 and we, but I ain't never say no name.
Cool beans.
Mhm.
So as you do that, are you building up to, let's say you're releasing a book? Do you have anything else that's going to be a connector to it that you're going to bring out with it, or any of that? Because I know that's how your mind thinks. So that I think I know you pretty good.
Uh-huh. Well, like I said, a lot of these men have songs connected to them. So the book will have a soundtrack connected.
Mm.
Mhm.
Chapter one. Listen to track number one.
Mhm. It's funny because I haven't wrote a song about him, and I think I should. Yeah.
Cool beans. This is going to be interesting. I'm really looking forward to it. This has truly
And
been a pleasure.
it, it's not
Yeah,
bad.
chatting with you. So, man, I'm just trying to figure out what else. Let me see. I made several notes here.
You may note like before or during. That's all me.
That's all you.
I love it. The one
So,
thing I want to say is, yes, God has blessed me many gifts and many talents. And yes, I've been through a lot of trials and tribulations, and I have so many great ideals and so many things I want to do, and so many things I want to accomplish, so many things I want to complete. And people are like, when's this, when this, when that? One thing I want to tell you guys, yes, I know you guys look at me as super quest, and I get that, and I respect it because that's what I've been working so hard to be. But at the same time, I like Square Not said 17 hours ago when we first started this. I'm only one person,
yeah,
you know, and it's one person trying to do all these things. That's what comes back to play people playing their part. If you play your part, it'll make it easier for me. If you help out, it can make it easier for me to give you guys exactly what you want. But don't be so demanding. Oh my God, it'd be great if you did this. I'm like, yeah, it would. You gonna fund that? Oh, it'd be great if you did. I'm like, yeah, you gonna be there? Oh, because I'm like, yeah, thank you so much for all these suggestions in a suggestion box that don't exist. Just allow me to. No, I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest. It's just like a child being pressured by their parents. You did this, that, and third. I'm like, did you even ask me if I want to do any of that? No, you
mm,
didn't. Just like I'm just gonna put it in myself because it is what it is. Like the other day when people saw me behind the turntable, not turntable, it was
controller.
controller. But either way, and it was oh I know you want the DJ or this, that, and the third. Or how can you on the cafe and how come this? Someone else, can you send me a mix? I'll be like, whoa, calm down. I said, and this is exactly why I'm gonna put things out there too much or try not to. Sometimes you just gotta allow someone to be great. Square Not, you are a DJ, and I love the whole culture of DJs, and I respect you guys so much. And I don't think you guys get the credit that you deserve,
Thank you.
But I'm just like, some of y'all gotta leave me alone. You know what I'm saying? They be like, oh, so what you use, what boards you got, this, that, and the third. Let me hear this. You got shut it up. Let me be great. Because a lot of people, like I said, no matter what it is, if you're a comedian, you better be funny. If you're a singer, you better hit that note. You better not even mess with that vibrato movement, okay? If you are a rapper, you better have some bars. If you're a model, that walk better be on point. The pictures better be on point. If you're a fashion designer, you better make sure you guys get on some fashion, not just pressing something on a t-shirt. This is how society is.
Mm-hmm.
Not like, oh, you do that. Oh, that's awesome. I can't wait to see you do your thing and support you. Why can't you just say that? Why does
Mm.
it all have to be critics all the time? You take the fun out of it. You just suck the life out of it. And people have to stop doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's sick. It's sick.
Yeah. You are
Sorry, I had a moment.
definitely no, that's all right. That's all right. I'm glad that you're able to let that out, and what you're saying is totally, totally true and is real,
Mhm.
you know. It's just like, for example, people know what you do, people know your talents, but it's always on that, hookup tip. And I always tell people all the time, business is business. If I have something that you need, of course, I'll treat you right. But at the end of the day, if you weren't coming to me and you went elsewhere, you're not going to ask for hookups. You're just going to go ahead on and pay whatever it is and get it done. So why come to me and expect this? You come to me with an expectation that it's going to go down in terms of price wise and everything else.
Mhm.
When on all actuality, it should not, because that's your livelihood. That's how you live. And that's what a lot of people have to understand. So I would say, I'm going to put this out there. T Quest has many talents. I've heard, like I said, at least 60, 70% of the DJs out there with her drops. I've heard her drops on radio stations. I've played her drops on radio stations. Several of the DJs I know have played the drops on radio stations, recorded and live. And everywhere you go, in a lot of different coalitions, you'll hear T Quest. If you're coming to her, just pay her, because she's going to do the work that you need to get done. Support her, because this is what she does. Because what happens today if, you know, not wishing this at all, but she either quits it or she's unable to perform that task. And she's got all that work out there that you didn't pay for. Are you going to think about that enough to come and help her? That's how you have to look at that thing. So treat her right. Do what you got to do to make sure she's all right, because she is a ride or die as it becomes to the support for the DJs, for sure. I know it personally, and I've seen her work. I've seen her thought process. I even had to yell at her. Would you call it yelling at you?
Yes.
Yes. I had to yell at you about those two words that we spoke about earlier, time management, because I saw you literally cracking, and that didn't need to be. So I will be the first to say, if you haven't heard it in a while, that you are very much appreciated for everything that you do. And you never have to worry about me coming to you and saying, hey, T Quest, just do this, and not get a cash app from me. I don't care if you say, nah, Square, nah, that's all right. And I'm like, look, either we barter something or otherwise I got to do that, because I respect you and I respect your work. You get what I mean? And that's what it's about. When your book comes out, I'm going to buy your book. Everything that you do, I try to help, try to do whatever I can. And other DJs and other hosts or whoever you work with, they need to do the same. And I hope that you're able to, that Amazon mate that you built, I hope that he comes and knocks on your door and life starts to change and things change for even greater things to happen in your life. So, everything is good. I want everything to be good about T Quest. And I also want everything to be good about Tara Little. So thank you. Thank you for allowing me to tap into your Kool-Aid for a minute.
Quest 2.0. I don't know why you keep
okay. Quest 2.0. See, the reason I'm talking about Kool-Aid is because I had great Kool-Aid today and it was delicious.
I'm just glad you didn't say purple.
Usually I would, but you know what I'm saying? So I had great Kool-Aid today. And it was delicious. So, as we get ready to close, do you have anything else? Anything else?
I want to say thank you, Square Knot, for just you being you and always being here for me since day one. And I would never forget that. Even going back to DJ Conference, Wendy's, Spicy Nuggets, and the Frosty. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've always had love for T Quest. You always made sure I was part of certain things I need to be part of. And I appreciate that. And I appreciate you taking the time out to interview me, because I told people, yes, I am a radio personality and I do journalism and writing on people and interviewing people. And I get all that. I have to do that stuff because, this is the industry. But deep down inside, if it was up to me, my main dream is to be an entertainer. Mm-hmm. I love to interview, but I love to be interviewed. Mm-hmm. Yes, I can do write-ups on people, but I want someone to do a write-up on me. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Like, you got to realize that's always been number one. Yes, I'm great at this, but this is the side I really want to be on all the time, if need be. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
So
yeah.
I appreciate you allowing me to be on this side for once.
Cool
Because
bean.
I like this side. If I tell you I'm an open book, you can ask me any and everything. Like, I'm here. Let's
You
just,
better not say that, girl.
you know, because you know it's real. I'm a whole changed, I'm a changed woman. You know, I'm not as quiet and timid all the time. You know what I'm saying? And now that I've been through so much and I've grown so much and I've healed through so much, I'm okay with talking about a lot of things without being so choked up or emotional or shutting down. It's all about, just growing. And I'm happy with the person I'm turning into,
Cool
and
bean.
I just want to continue to share her with the world. So once again, it's your girl T Quest. Download that T Quest mobile app in your Google Play Store and your App Store. I'm holding at 5 stars strong. So you make sure you keep that going and write me a review, because as entrepreneurs and business owners, reviews is everything, because a lot of people do check that and they do read that. And make sure to follow my service. You hear me on my website, godloveyworld.com. And make sure you follow me on all social media platforms at TQuestGLM.
There it is. And I have a couple comments that just came in.
Okay.
And Dave G said this was a very beautiful and interesting interview session. Love this.
Mm.
DJ Rod Flash says, how much are the drops? And then Dave G came back and said, Miss T Quest. TQuestGLM at gmail.com and gotta love me world.com. The hottest female in this music entertainment industry. And then my wife, Anitra, she says, thank you for empowering us today. We never know how much we can impact others. I will be supporting. So keep doing your thing, girl. Keep rising. And like I say, all of those who have nothing good to say, look in that rearview mirror and watch them get smaller, because you can do great, great things. And we're here to support you. We love you. And this is DJ Square Knot, and we have the illustrious T Quest. We were able to catch her, y'all. Man, let me tell you, it took a long time, but we managed to make it happen because time management worked. After yelling at her, of course.
You should see my calendar. Everything is written down on my calendar. This is this day,
Yeah.
this time, blah blah blah. Shut down at this time. They're like, "What you doing now?" I said, "Absolutely nothing. If it's not an emergency, gotta go."
Yeah. So this is good. But I have really enjoyed you, and the audience has really enjoyed you as well. It's been great for you to be real and be on the other side, as you said, and to let your hair down in a sense. And that's what it's about. You getting a chance to exhale because you've been waiting for so long. You like that, waiting to exhale?
I peeped that.
So it's just one of those things. But I just want you to continue to do that. And you're always welcome to Square Not Live for sure. And like I say, as soon as you drop that book, or if you just want to come back and talk about some other stuff, hey, I'm always down for it. Or if you want to come back and say, you know what, Square Not, check it out. I want to sit on the side with you, and we're going to interview somebody together. I'm down. So whatever it is, but it was just really good to have you here. And then you put that picture on the back of you, as you say. So
You know what, Gordon? It's funny you mentioned that picture, because during your little therapy sessions, you be trying to be the male version of me. Um, I've been having conversations with people as always,
yes,
and they've been coming to me about life and how it changed and trying to get back on their feet and this and third and what it was happy. I was like, let me tell you guys about a story that I just had recently with a fun young man, right? And I said one day we were just conversing, and I showed him a picture of me, right? Hot mess over here. And I was just like, yeah, I remember her. Such great times. He was like, what are you talking about? I'm like, back in my modeling days and blah, blah, blah. He was like, when was that? I was like, I don't know, a couple of years ago. He was like, Quest. I'm like, what? it was only a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't that long ago. If you truly to be back to how you felt and all that stuff back then, you can do it.
Mm-hmm.
Just gotta do it. And I was like, you know what, Square? It was only a couple of
Mm-hmm.
years, and I can easily get back
You
there
can.
as long as I focus on me. And like I've been telling people, you have to be your first client.
That's right.
I cater to everybody else. I need to cater to me so I can go back to my habit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Your
mean?
happy place. It's good. It's good.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? You know
Yeah.
why you're able to revisit and walk back through that corridor?
Why?
Because you have that knowledge already. You know what it takes to go back to that door. All of that. And guess what? Knowledge is the one thing in this world that no one can ever take away from you. Keep that in mind. So anytime you're ready to do that, you know that you can. But do like you've been doing, like you've been saying from the get go when we started this. You prioritize, and when you are ready, you'll know that you're ready. And all you have to do is walk down the hall, open up that door, and step right into it. And it'll be just like riding a bike. You never forget. So,
I've never done things a normal child has done, so I don't know how to ride
well, we can teach you we can teach you the virtual version of that.
a bike. Closest I've been, it was in spin class.
There
And
you
they was like, your booty bouncing too much. I said, that's the whole point. No.
Yes, indeed.
Oh,
That's what I'm talking about. See,
God.
that's the
Let me
key
be great.
question.
Let me be great.
Be great. That's it.
I
That's
ain't your business. You know, you go to the gym, it's always people always trying to help you do the right way. I'm like, clearly, I know I ain't doing it the right way. I'm bouncing it to the beat in my headphones. Let me be great, lady.
it.
Get out of here, please.
That's all that matters. Do you, like you say, do you.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Mm.
So,
Yeah.
before we leave, can just so that people again see your work one more time, can you give us another live drop of anything of your choice? And then
Yeah,
we'll go from there.
absolutely. I go by the name T Quest. And when I think of happiness, when I think of love, when I think of amazement, indulgent, enticing, and seductive moments, I think of DJ Square Nut. No, no. Oh, and side note, people, yes, my voice is very sensual, but don't forget, I can definitely do all types of drops, all types of tones and everything, okay? Let's be clear about that because it was this one radio station that hit me up. I heard about you, but your stuff is too sensual. I was like, You tell me exactly what you want, and I will deliver it, okay? Let's be
Get it.
clear. English, Spanish, whatever you need, I can do it.
You
And
don't
that's
get it.
why I had to go back and revamp my website and give a variety to let them know, yes, I can do seductive and I do it very well. But don't get it twisted. I can use my voice. Trust
She
me.
said, don't get it twisted.
Don't get it twisted. Yeah,
You know what I'm
don't
saying?
get it.
Don't get it twisted up in this joint. You know what I'm saying? You know, even Pinky Delicious was like, yo, girl, let me tell you about something. That Pinky Delicious.
No, it's really true because as it's funny because what people are like, DJ drops is cool, producing tags is cool, promo stuff, but you know the ones I actually enjoy the most, which is kind of weird, voicemails.
Voicemails? You
Mhm.
enjoy recording
It's just
voicemail?
so funny because I just, it's so neutral. You can't really tell by race, and that's one of the things you have to conquer as a voice over specialist or someone who does vocal work, and it should be like, you have reached DJ so and so. If you need blah blah, press one. Like all that. Like I think it's just so funny when I do it. And then when I hear it, it's just so awesome. Or do the promos behind people's businesses and they have like the videos going.
Yeah.
For live entertainment. Da, 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 da. And then when I hear my voice, I'm just like, I can't believe that's me.
Interesting.
Mm.
Interesting. Well, guys, you are hearing it. You're hearing all the many things that she can do with her voice. Make sure you guys support that. If you guys need that background work for some videos, if you guys, of course, the drops are there. She's also doing voiceover work. All of that, whether it be for a film, whether it be for a cartoon, whether it be for whatever, look her up. She has it. She has it.
I
So,
don't know how that comes.
Awesome.
GOTTA.
Give your social media one more time, and I promise you, I'll let you go.
Yeah, okay. So last time. Now, easily at TQuestGLM, TQUESTGLM is my social media. The cash app is $TQuestGLM. My mobile app is just TQuest T-QUEST. And my website, GuylandWorld.com. But if you just download the app, everything is up there.
Yes, it is. Everything is there. All of her shows, the videos, you name it, it's there. She keeps it updated. She really does.
Absolutely. And there's more stuff coming. Just once again, I'm one person and I'll do my part. And if you do your part, then I can do my part even better. You know what I'm saying? And let it all pour out.
Awesome sauce. Yeah. So on that note, we will say we really appreciate you. And again, like I say, I really, really enjoy the fact of what you do. I have studied you and have watched you, have had multiple conversations with you. And it's just really a joy to really know you and know your focus and know your drive. And to know that you have aspirations, you're not stopping. So that right there is one of the things that will definitely continue to help you grow so that, GLM, the whole big company, the enterprise, I'm going to call it.
It's enterprise word, T-Quest LLC.
Get it all going and just be able to sit back. And then next thing you know, you are the CEO sitting there appointing your president, your vice president, and all that, and saying, "Hey, this is what you need to do." Pinky up, there you go, pinky's doing your thing. So it's truly been a pleasure. We thank you. And we will definitely be in touch.
Everything about you makes me feel some type of way. From the outside to my inner, think I got me a winner. Make me wanna cook your dinner and I'll be yours. You say got that sweetness, about to put it to work when you step into